the next thing is we are going to see regarding towards the speed sensor. So speed sensor, it is widely used for many devices, especially as a tachometer in all the practical labs to measure the speed, high rated speed of a motor. And nowadays it is also used inside all the vehicles. The digital sensors only they are using just in order to note down the speed of the particular vehicle. So how that particular sensor or why they are just using it and what types of sensors are available to measure the speed. So inside the speed sensor we have totally two types. One is optical and another one is magnetic sensor. So onto this optical, once when we are going for like a particular digital purpose means we can say it as optical sensor. If you are going for the analog basis or some coupling, or we can also say the motion detection, so based on that we can say it as magnetic sensor. First let us see the function of magnetic type. Inside this magnetic type sensor, we will be having a rotor shaft of a motor which will be continuously rotating, and each and every parts of the shaft will be in a different kinds of patterns. But that patterns it is not possible to recognize with the help of a sensor. So therefore what we will do means that particular color, therefore it will be changed. For example, here we have that particular patterns, and inside this pattern one pattern's color will be slightly changed, and on this particular basis here we will be having this particular magnetic type sensor which contains north pole and south pole of the magnet at the end, and before that we will be having a set of coil with a air gap. So within this particular air gap, once that particular indication has been changed, once it is reached upon here, the core will be activated and therefore the pulse will be sent through the cable from the coil. So within this, here we will be having three wires like VCC, ground and the data pin. So the data pin we will be connecting to the microcontroller, and from there we will be able to measure the entire speed. So the magnetic, how it is able to get means once the rotation and here when the variation is occurred, therefore the pulse will be generated and the electronic data will be transferred completely toward the controller. So through this the magnetic couple will be generated and therefore the speed is applied over here. The same thing if you go for optical sensor. So within this particular gap, here we have an IR as well as a transistor. So within this, whatever it is being rotated within that particular speed, here also there will be some indication whenever it is being rotated. So from that, whenever it is getting passed up over there, the data will be calculated and will be updated inside the microcontroller. So here also we have the same three types like D0, VCC and ground. So VCC power supply, ground to ground, and D0 to any of the digital pin. So from that, once whenever the measure or whenever it starts rotating, from that the speed will be monitored or the steps will be count, and from that we will be able to display it in any of the odometer. So this will be that optical sensor circuit, and this will be the magnetic type sensor circuit. Now how to connect it? So this speed sensor will be interfaced, and from that it will be completely changed towards the signal conditioning circuit to get the digital data as well as stabilize the digital data, and from that we will be directly integrating towards the microcontroller. So here we are having that respective sensor. In between this particular sensor, the LM393 IC is used. So from this particular IC only the signal condition is applied, and therefore through this pins we will be able to get the output. And the LM393 can be integrated towards Arduino in this particular way. Now let us take the code. So hereby we are starting the time as 0 and the ending time also initially it is 0. Number of steps also initially it is 0. Now serial dot begin, only the reason for communicating between the device as well as the COM port. Then pin mode 7 as input. So here we will be taking this sensor as input 1, and to indicate that particular lights we have declared 2 pins as output 3 and 4. Now start time in milliseconds. So end time will be start time plus 1000. So that is known as the end time. Here we are declaring the while loop to get a continuous data. Whenever the milliseconds is less than end time, that only that particular period this loop will be stopped. All the inputs will be read by digital read 7. Then steps equal to steps plus 1. If steps is greater than 30, therefore one of the LED will be high and other LED will be low. Else the other LED will be high and the other LED will be low. And therefore number of steps will be printed on the screen. Now let us change the circuit. So hereby completely we have to change. So take the 3 wires and connect it to Arduino. Now our digital read pin is 7. Power supply 5 volt. And this will be the ground. Now therefore it has been applied. So now we are just providing this connection 3 and 4. And now the ground connection also being connected. Now just apply the code into the microcontroller. So now hereby we can wait for the steps. It is 0. Hereby I am taking an object. So let us take this wire as an object and tap in between that particular slot. Now the value will be increased. So since it is less than 30, the green light is glowing. Now let us make it till 30. Now it has changed to red light. So in this way only we will be working with the digital sensors. Okay guys, thank you all. Let us see in our next video. Thank you for watching our video. If you like this video, kindly click on the like button and share the video to your friends. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.